welcome back to work, Lagos. How are you doing? Hope your area didn't get flooded.
Oh yeah, it rained in the morning. I remember feeling very comfortable.
Yeah, I just don't you love it when it rains?
Yeah.
Let's start first of all with Game of Thrones.
Oh wow.
Amal, do you watch Game of Thrones?
No, I'm on season
Really?
1.
On
I'm
Twitter?
starting again.
Naomi, do you watch Game of Thrones?
Yes. On
On
Twitter.
Why are you people like this? So you missed Daenerys Targaryen burning down King's Landing. Do you watch Game of? Please, come and join us. Please.
But yeah, though, I need to understand why people think if you don't watch Game of Thrones, you are not all that. Like, why? It's just a
yeah, I would have
series,
addressed
right?
this, but we know you are not all that. I'm joking. All right. Anyway, I started watching Game of Thrones a long time ago.
First of all, Nigerians jump on it because they just want to feel cool. I know a lot of people that just jump on bandwagon because everybody's watching it.
I am people. People is me.
Well, it's
Yeah, I totally understand that. But Game of Thrones is a series that someone like me finds very interesting, especially coming from my biblical background. That is why I was fighting that pastor who said people should not watch Game of Thrones. Hello, I don't see any difference between Game of Thrones and the Bible. As in, when it comes to storyline,
Yes.
David cut the head of Goliath and held the head in his hand and marched into the country with somebody's head in his hand. Then David kills 200 people and cuts off their foreskins because he wants to marry somebody's daughter. As in, that's like Game of Thrones. Saul was supposed to go and kill everybody, kill women, kill children, and then he pardoned the animals and got into trouble after killing all the women, the children. It just sounded like Daenerys Targaryen coming in with the dragons to King's Landing.
Very true.
You understand? So I liked it because of it gave me a feel of that. We're going to go take no prisoners. We're going to go and plunder. Genesis 14, Abraham is coming from the slaughter of the kings. That was what the slaughter of the kings would have been like.
I really want to understand this hype, so I am actually going to be watching Game of Thrones. I'm going to start.
How do you want to start something that is ending?
Yes, now that's the fun. I don't like
That's
seasonal
the fun.
movies,
It's
so
because you
I
don't
like
have
to
to wait.
so I don't have to wait. I'm going to watch it,
So
but
many
I
people
feel like
started.
there's so many other series that are way better than Game of Thrones, right?
Naomi,
That it
what you have
frees-
just said now, people are going to
No,
look.
I'm not the only one who
just
thinks
disguise
it.
yourself when you are going home.
I'm not the only one who thinks like that.
Hold on.
I'm not the only one who
The
thinks like
guys
that.
who wrote Game of Thrones said they were going to be off the internet for a few days as the season finale drops. In the meantime, we need to go on a quick break and we'll be right back at you. Right, we're back and it is After Dark on 96.9 Cool FM, your favorite radio station, and the show runs every single weekday from 7 to 9 p.m. Before we went on that break, Naomi Crystal and I were arguing about Game of Thrones, and Naomi was lending her opinion, saying that Game of Thrones is not such a nice.
No, I'm not saying that Game of Thrones is not such a nice. I've not watched it. I'm going to start. Okay, Peer Pressure 1, so I'm going to watch it over from season 1. But I'm saying that you guys
Naomi,
should just
listen.
calm down.
Let's
not
put
like
a bet.
it's not the
Naomi's
greatest.
after season 3. Naomi's gonna come into the studio one day and be like, Game of Thrones.
I don't think so.
But it's overhyped.
You know.
The show is just overhyped.
Hey,
It's
bend
not
down,
overhyped.
bend down.
Don't say that, please.
Auntie, you're from Uganda. Come.
They will beat
How many
you in
seasons
this
have you
universe.
watched?
I'm on the one where the guy asks for a pot of gold or some a crown of
That's
gold.
Khal Drogo.
That's Khal Drogo that we're talking about.
Where he was taking out Daenerys'
And that's where
brother.
Daenerys
Became
Daenerys. That's where she started becoming Daenerys. The unburned.
Yeah.
Mother
Yeah,
of dragons.
Because when he died, they had
I
to
thought
burn her.
Khaleesi was the mother of dragons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she wasn't.
She wasn't the mother of dragons
like,
as of then.
initially.
That was her elder brother whose head they melted. And he
sold
was
her.
supposed to be a Targaryen, and Targaryens don't get burnt in fire.
Yeah.
So that just showed that
That guy was.
the guy was just a scam.
This was how everybody was at the time of Prison Break, right? This was
Funny
hell.
thing
I've
is,
never
I
watched
didn't
it.
watch
I don't feel it's
Prison
that
Break.
You didn't watch Prison Break,
Prison Break
really?
wasn't this big, but Prison Break is
Or
the people that
24.
watch Prison Break are
Prison-
more
to be-
advanced
To be fair,
intellectually.
Prison Break,
I don't
when
know.
Prison Break was around,
Than
social
Game
media
of
wasn't
Thrones,
so
because
big.
most people are watching Game of Thrones because of peer pressure.
Exactly.
And when-
No, but we
And
started
then-
watching Game of Thrones
5 years ago,
5 years ago.
Yeah, that was when Game
not
of
because
Thrones
of.
I don't think you can't
peer
even
pressure.
compare Prison Break to Game of Thrones, because when Prison Break was coming out, social media wasn't big, so you wouldn't know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
then social
Same
media.
thing with 24. I
But then-
didn't really follow 24. I followed more of Desperate Housewives.
I've seen
Exactly,
it
you
too,
see-
actually.
Oh,
I've
Desperate
seen it
Housewives
too.
was nice.
Yeah, so
Desperate Housewives was awesome.
So you see, people watched people watched 24, people watched Prison Break when there was no social media, so there was nobody forcing you to actually watch anything.
I didn't watch
right?
any of those.
But now, Game of Thrones, I feel it thrived because of social
No,
media.
For
Yeah.
me, Game of Thrones is because of my biblical background.
For you, that it is
Do you understand?
a lot of Nigerians
That is the
out
life
there.
that you know. They went there and they slaughtered the kings, and you know it just
These
it
kings and
appeals
these
to me.
But it has some like modern day explanations too. If you want to go that way, there are 7 continents in the world. That we have
Yeah,
But apparently,
all
Seven
those
kingdoms.
conspiracy theories. by
Yeah,
the way.
if you look at it from that perspective, it's actually true.
But
The
apparently
King's Landing
the-
is America, North Korea is I
apparently
don't know.
the episode.
No. North
When
Korea
did-
then has to be Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Oh my
but then that
goodness.
means Kim Jong Un wins. Oh.
But apparently, the episode from last week, the previous episode, had a coffee cup in the episode, and then I remember that was trending on Twitter. There was a mistake. There was a coffee cup.
Yeah,
there
I
was
saw
a coffee
that
cup.
when
So
they
there
were dining in
Yeah.
Winterfell after that battle with
Yes.
those the undead, where Khaleesi was jealous of Jon Snow because people gathered around him and they were talking.
Yeah.
There was a coffee
There was
cup
a
by
coffee cup.
mistake.
Super
there.
excited.
But it's not the first time that
Yeah, BBC
beverage containers
shows,
have found
yes.
their way into shows. I remember when America was shooting the show, going to Apollo. Well, they were supposed to fly a rocket to the moon into space, and somebody, you know, that time there was no social media and television was not what it is now.
Yeah.
Television was actually really backward. So what happened was there was one camera beaming to Australia, there was one camera beaming to another side of the world, and there was another camera beaming to another part of the world. And in the camera beaming to Australia, it caught someone kicking a Coke can across the set of the moon. It's only God that can save us, but you know, I just don't believe America went to the moon. I'm sorry. I may be wrong before I'm considered a conspiracy theorist. I just find, you know, just like a cup of coffee. Anyway,
But how could they make such a mistake? I mean, you spend so much money, so
That's
much
why
time
people
on set
believe that there's
to forget a
conspiracy
coffee
behind
cup.
the whole thing.
Game of Thrones.
No, Game
Oh.
I thought you were talking about that the
No.
physics are
you know,
I think-
somebody was going to lose their job because it is somebody's job
Yeah, not
to
to.
be setting manager to make sure
Everything is in
everything
place.
is
Yeah.
in place.
Super excited it'll be ending next week though, so we can concentrate.
But there's
on
going to
other
be a
things.
spin-off, so
Oh,
you will
what
not
now?
rest.
Throne of Games.
No, they're doing a spin-off, I think, about the Ned Stark and how he met, what's it called? During the time of the Mad King
Shall we
and the
rest?
Night King, the origin story of all those people.
I mean-
Yeah. Who was the Mad King again? Daenerys' father.
Yeah, he
They
was
said that's
king
how he
before
came.
Robert Baratheon.
They said that's how he came with dragons and burned down a city. You
You
know,
know, some people are speculating at the end of Game of Thrones is going to be that Khaleesi beheads Jon Snow and she becomes her father again, like the Mad Queen too. That's how it's going to end. It's possible.
let me tell you, people that should not die for the sake of those people's
What
health.
about Arya or something? Arya Stark.
Arya should not die.
Someone is on her list now.
Who is on? No, her list of everybody on the list is
Listen,
practically
people
dead.
that everybody love, Arya, Jon Snow. Now, Daenerys up until yesterday.
Yeah,
Everybody loved Daenerys up until yesterday. As in now, Daenerys is like, what? What did she do? Is she mad?
Killed innocent.
You know, how do you come and kill innocent people?
The death of Missandei.
You know? So that was really, 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 really scary. Anyway, enough on Game of Thrones. We're gonna go
Moving
on
on
a break
to
and
better
then
things.
come right back.
Okay.
You shut up. When we come back, we'll be talking about actor, or should I say actress. I'm a bit more friendly with the word actress towards female actors.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just sounds better. I'm sorry, guys. Don't get upset. You know, Ikpe, Etim said, Ati Nse Ikpe Etim. I hope I got that.
Yeah.
Came out with a very emotional interview where she said that she doesn't have a womb anymore. So we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be sharing issues with people, and we'll be kicking off our show Talk to Me, where you get the opportunity to actually call in and let's talk in a moment. Stick around. After Dark with Daddy Freeze on 96.9 Cool FM, your favorite radio station. And it's not Daddy Freeze, it's Daddy Freeze and the Lobsters. Pardon me for being so rude when I've got such beautiful lobsters.
Thank you.
You should see
Wow.
Nay Risky looking so gorgeous.
I'm not a lobster, please.
No, you
I'm
just look like Didier Drogba
thinking-
on my Instagram. Khal Drogo.
This is a Didier.
Yeah. And of course, all
But
the
you
way
look
from
like a
Uganda.
low budget but risky.
Hey.
Oh.
Oh my god.
One bro. That one enter.
Who is your bro?
Naomi, I owe you.
No, Daddy Freeze, you've done enough, please. You've done
No.
enough.
Naomi, I owe you one, bro.
Who's your bro?
Our bro is collecting
Your bro is collecting treatment in your car.
All right, guys. First of all, we're going to wind things down a little because this might be a bit emotional. And like I said earlier on, we're going to be talking about the emotional interview actress Nse granted. And I don't even know how to start because it's children in this part of the world are considered very valuable assets. I don't know if you're with me.
Yeah.
And when a woman gets up and says she doesn't have a womb anymore, there's all sorts of emotions. So let's talk about the story.
Yeah.
The beautiful lady's name is Nse Ikpe Etim. She's a friend of mine. She's been on the roadshow several times. The actress spoke at an event in Lekki, tagged controversial with Nse. She said she removed her womb to live a normal life. Now, according to The Nation, she said she was diagnosed 3 years ago with adenomyosis, a condition whereby the inner lining of the uterus breaks through the muscle wall of the uterus, adding that she had to remove her uterus in order to live a normal life. I was told I couldn't have kids, so I had to have my womb removed to make me have a normal life again and stop going through what I was going through. I'm literally telling women and men, it doesn't really matter if you can't bear children. What really matters is what you do for the world and for the universe. The day I was informed I had to remove my uterus, tears dropped, and then my husband squeezed my hand. It was reassuring. There was someone there, and he was telling me that this is reality, my reality. I didn't think there was any point anymore because my society taught me that I have to be a mother to be appreciated. And every time I went online, I'll have one troll or two saying, "You never born?" But I'm thankful that that didn't break me. I'm thankful for Nollywood. I pushed my pain through every single character. Prior to that, I badly wanted to have children. I wanted a set of twins. I wanted children. I wanted so badly, I was brooding forever. I did IVF. I did everything our society wants every woman to do so she can be accepted as a mother. Now, the question is, I'm going to start with the ladies. Let's be very honest. If your brother came home with a lady and said, I want to get married to this lady, but she has had her womb taken out, Naomi, what would you say?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
That's a wow.
really tough one. Like, if I'm being honest, if I'm being my normal self, maybe if I don't know the lady from anywhere, I'll be like, why is she the only option? Like, there are many other people. I'm sorry, but that's what I would say. Okay, because you can get people who still have like their womb, everything intact, right? That's if I don't have any attachments with the lady, right? But if maybe she's somebody I've known and maybe I knew her before she got into the situation where she had to take off her womb, I might be considerate, right? I might understand, because of course, if you don't give birth to a child yourself, you can actually adopt, and there are other ways, right? So I might understand. But if it's just a general girl that he just meets, and I would say go out and look for somebody else. I'm being honest. I would say that.
All right, Amal,
Yeah?
if your brother came home with a lady and said, this beautiful lady that I wanted to get married to has had her womb removed,
Yeah.
what would you say?
First of all, there are different reasons why people have their womb removed. Was it because of numerous abortions? Was it so maybe I would ask why before.
If she said she had a health condition, like
no,
this
then
lady
go
said.
Go ahead and marry her. Children are not.
Let me ask you a question. Can you marry a man, Naomi? Let's start. Can you marry a man who's sterile, not impotent, sterile? A man comes up to you and says, "I can't get a woman pregnant." Can you marry a guy like that?
I can't fall in love with a guy like that.
No. Listen, you've fallen in love already.
Like
You guys have been dating 3 years. He's everything you've always dreamed of. He's that pilot. He's,
Daddy, please. Okay, go on.
He's everything you've dreamed of. He's what you want in a guy. And then, just before you get married, you guys go to do some tests. And it comes out that he can't get a woman pregnant. What would you do? Be very honest. What would you do?
If I am in love,
Yeah.
like really, really in love,
And he treats you good. He's everything you've ever wanted.
then I'll stay with him.
You stay with him.
no kids.
No kids.
No, but I can have. There are other ways I can get children, right?
Oh.
Adoption.
We might both agree that we're just gonna look for somebody else,
Who
or
are you looking
we
for?
are.
We'll go and look for somebody else.
Or we
Can you
adopt.
see?
Or we
We'll
adopt.
just
now.
agree that we'll go and look for La Bumba.
I don't think there's any man that would knowingly let you go ahead and look for another man to have children with.
As in Naomi, as in the way you are thinking, eh?
Say
No.
what?
But if I'm bringing myself to putting myself in that situation where I'll never get a child from my husband, I don't think you should have any reason to tell
Okay,
me
let's flip
not
it.
to be.
Naomi, let's-
No, wait,
He should be
hold on.
considerate, right?
So
if
by
there's a guy that I like, and I don't mind having a child with, I expect my husband to be considerate, because I'm being considerate.
Wow.
Legally.
Well, Naomi, let's flip
Really?
it. Imagine if you were the one that was barren, yeah?
No.
And your husband tells you, since I'm not going to have a child from you, let me go and look for,
Yeah, you
Yes,
got
but
even
what
with,
is
even
yes?
wait, even without me not being barren or anything, he'll still go. Wow, right?
No.
So if I was in a situation like that and my husband can't get me pregnant, I would discuss it. If
You
I
look for a guy you like.
Let's assume that I had maybe 2 options before I got married, and I went for my husband, and my other option is still there, and I still kind of like him, but I'm with my husband, and my husband can't get me pregnant. I'm going to discuss with my husband and be like, bro, you need to be honest.
bro. Who is your bro?
No. But honestly, I don't understand this, Naomi.
But how does it? Is your husband going to take you to the man's place and wait for you to finish the act of love?
But these things happen, right? Lagos, I'm not even joking. These things happen. People do it. Okay, but if he brings his brother, is that okay?
No, it's not.
That's weird.
But there are traditions that allow the brothers make the get
Because
the
of
wife pregnant.
DNA. Right?
Which tradition? Please, what country has those traditions?
I'm sure.
And don't say Uganda.
Which country? So, in your place now, your brother can come and... Your husband's brother can come and make you
But
pregnant.
no, what I mean is, some people
Boy.
when
I
okay,
don't know what
so
countries you've been to.
no, but why do people let their brothers take over their wife when they die or something?
That's
Because they are
inheritance.
dead.
Yeah, you're dead. Not
Okay.
dead inside, but dead completely.
Completely.
So then, culturally, you would inherit your brother's property.
So, but what
including
would
the
you
wife.
do? What would you do? You would adopt. Okay, let's remove the option of adoption, because of course adoption is the first option that you go for. But let's remove the option of adoption, right? And how else would you? What would you do?
I would deal with it. I think I would deal with it. I would.
And not
I would
have-
hope that my sister has kids and should give me one child.
and not have a child.
Yeah, like marriage is not about having children. Marriage is about companionship and being with someone you love. It's sort of, you don't get married to have children.
Yes. You don't get married, but I think I want to experience motherhood even more than I want to get married.
Being a mother doesn't mean you have to push the child out. You can be a mother to someone that you're married and
Sometimes,
birth
well,
to.
I want to experience it, and if my choice is to experience it, I don't think putting up with a man that cannot make me experience it is a great idea. So,
Women are what? But honestly, it's not the man's
please,
fault.
all my people crushing on me shouldn't see this video. So.
It's not a man's fault if you can't have children.
All right. I think I'm gonna step in here and I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
You see, we need to move away from the enslaving mentality that has gotten us where we are. It's very unkind to the person with a condition, male or female. If you're a sterile man or you're a woman who's had her womb removed for whatever reason, you don't feel complete as a human being again. Why? Because you can't have kids. Forgetting that Oprah Winfrey didn't have kids. Michael Jackson didn't really have kids. Those weren't his kids. Michael's black. He bleached and became white. How could he have white children? He didn't bleach his beard.
Maybe he was with a white woman, and maybe
What
her
are you
genes
telling
was.
me? Is my
maybe-
mother not white and my father not black?
But aren't you white?
No.
you
Paris Jackson does not look like me.
Yeah.
I'm
She
mixed.
could
You're
have
mixed.
She could have like a hair straightener, and she could be straightening her hair.
No, I don't think. You know half Oyinbo now.
Yeah.
Does Paris Jackson look like half Oyinbo?
She's
No,
fully
she's
white.
fully
She's
white.
fully
Why?
white.
So you see, you've got to sit down and realize that, look, the fact that you have kids or the fact that you don't have kids doesn't make or break you. It's not easy, especially in this part of the world. This part of the world is like a prison for most people. Wow, Naomi had 22 people viewing her
But
at the end of a live
in
video.
2 minutes, 2 minutes live video. That's good. I'm not a celebrity, so.
Yeah. Anyway, back to what
Leave
we
me
were
alone.
saying.
Somebody has two here.
Amal has 2 people watching her live.
Since 1 hour.
Absolutely.
Since 1
awesome.
hour.
Amal, don't give up.
It's not about the people viewing. It's about the content you put out.
And how good you look on the camera.
Right? Good at position the camera real good.
Now let's open up the phone lines. If you have a similar experience, did you have your womb removed? Are you, as a guy, are you sterile? Did you find out you can't make children, or are you impotent, or any of those things? Call us up, or do you know somebody who is? Call us up and let's share that story. Let's talk about it. Let's see how it affects you. Let's see how it affects us. Let's see how it affects the community. Let's see how it affects the mindset of the people. I don't know who's with us, but I think this is a very good opportunity.
The numbers to call is 012710969, 012711969, 012712969, and 012713969.
For instance, if I find a woman I'm absolutely in love with, who's perfect for me in every way, I don't care if she can have kids or not. Hello? Yeah, good evening. What's your name?
Okay.
This is a very sensitive topic in the sense that I'm married. I have 2 kids. My elder sister is married to a guy that is literally impotent and they can't have kids. So it means I've had experience to see it from my own perspective, from being the man that is married and has kids. And my elder sister, we're quite close. We're almost like twins. Yeah. So I've had experience to see the hurt from my own section not having a child. The thing is this: one of the first more or less commandments in the Bible is procreation. So it's I think people that find themselves in situations like that need to understand that it's a reality. Procreation is very important, but you need to understand that this is a reality and you need to live with your reality.
You know, there's something I like to say. I think we got the procreation part of the Bible wrong. Hold on. God created Adam and Eve, and they were supposed to be the only two people on earth, or the only two people in the garden. And God told them to be fruitful and multiply. Now we've got about 7 billion people on the earth. I don't think being fruitful and multiplying should be anybody's problem. The human race doesn't look like it's going extinct anytime soon. As a matter of fact, we're overpopulating and we're destroying the earth's natural resources as we go. So I think churches should also teach people that, hey guys, the covenant God had with Adam and Eve to be fruitful and to multiply does not apply in 2019 and 2020.
That is, Prince, I totally agree with you with that ideology. I completely agree with you. But the thing is this, everybody wants to tend to experience that joy of like, I'm a mother. You know, sometimes I speak to my sister and she goes like, look, your kids are my kids. I see them, I'm happy. Whenever they come stay with me, I feel fulfilled. But for some weird reason, I would like to experience it personally. She's happy with what life is. She's happy with her husband. She's happy with the way things have turned out. But once in a while, you can't help but feel that way. But this is why I actually do believe fulfillment in marriage doesn't necessarily have to do anything with kids. Happiest moments with my wife were before my kids came. Literally. Where we could, you know, seek out, discuss life, we're happy, we talk about stuff, we go on holidays together. We can't do most of those things because these kids are even there right now. So it's even a bit of a drawback personally between myself and my wife. But that being said, it's a topic that people need to understand that happiness doesn't just come from kids. So they need to deal with that reality that this is where I find myself. There are other ways of making myself happy and stop dwelling the fact that I can't put together and stuff like that. That's my big in this whole thing.
Thank you so much. That was a very, very beautiful contribution. Our phone lines are still open: 2710969, 2711969, 2712969, and 2713969. I blame the society and religion. Religion makes you feel less of a person if you can't have kids, because you're supposed to be fruitful and you're supposed to multiply, without having the proper understanding of that covenant, the time when that covenant happened, and why that covenant was instituted, and if that covenant is still running in 2019. We've got another caller. Hello. Good evening.
Yes, Kingsley from Germany.
All right, Kingsley, go ahead. Share your contribution.
My girlfriend, over here in Germany, has a girlfriend of hers who can't keep them. And she's married to an elderly man. The man is about mid-50. And I mean, they're both happily married. They don't have plans of having kids because she can't have a kid. And they have no issues whatsoever. They have accepted that state. They don't plan on adopting any kid. And I find it somewhat astonishing because I'm from Africa, Nigeria, and I don't think there's a situation where this kind of scenario will ever be accepted in Nigeria, for example.
Don't you think that is because we're backward, not because we're better than the Germans? I was seeing a post today on one of my boss's Instagram handle about countries that are growing, economies that are growing. I saw China, I saw the rest of the world. I didn't see any country from Africa. I didn't see Nigeria. And we're sitting down here. Are we growing by reproducing children like little rabbits? Or what are we contributing to the global economy? Are we still holding on to this petrol that everybody's going to stop using in the next 12 years? More or less? You know, what is our contribution? We can't just be populating the world for the world. We can't just come to the world and say, okay, yes, we're bringing children. I think we should be able to do better than that. And I think we need to look at other cultures, look at other people. if a woman can't have children in a typical Nigerian setting, she's looked down upon as being incomplete. What am I saying, children? If a woman can't have a husband after a certain age,
Oh wow.
do you understand what I'm talking about? If a woman's 35 and she doesn't have kids, they're gonna start looking at you like, what am I saying, kids? He doesn't have a husband. They're gonna start looking at you as a failure. Is that right? Absolutely not. A woman should be 45 at peace without a husband and kids. The society shouldn't dictate what you have to become.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. 271. Yeah,
and the society has sort of conditioned our minds to these things as the only things that would make us happy. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they've conditioned our minds to, oh, you have to be married. Marriage will make you happy. You know, you don't have to be single. It's like being single in Nigeria is like a plague.
But also at some point now, because they're different people and we're evolving as people. These days I feel like we don't discuss things in a relationship or whatever. Someone could come and, for example, date me, and let's say I don't have plans of getting married, I don't want to get married, and I don't want to have children. Now you'll date me, we might not talk about it for 3 years. After 3 years, when you're trying to propose, it's not my plan. I don't want to get married. I don't have children. So there are times that you enter relationships like that, or you get married. Unfortunately, you now get married, and then you find out that the person you're with doesn't want to have children. Either they're not interested in it, or they have a condition. Now that causes a problem because you did not discuss these things before marriage, because you thought it was obvious. When we get married next time, we're going to have kids, which causes a lot of problems.
I feel like 95% of people, especially maybe ladies, over the age of 25, if they're dating in a serious relationship from 1 year, they're already asking where the relationship is heading.
1 year, 6 months.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anybody that would date somebody for 3 years and not be particular about marriage, except maybe from the onset. Like, the percentage is just really small.
No, but if the ladies are believing first getting their career right before getting married, so I can see how women would be 3 years relationship before even.
That's why I said from a certain age, right?
Yeah.
When they get to a certain age, trust me, society, family, everything. I don't know how we can stop that. I don't know whether we're going to stop it, because even us ourselves, we already have that mindset. Like, people give themselves time. By the time I get to 25, I want to be married. I want to be, in a relationship and stuff like that. And then people have taken these things to be their own happiness. Like,
yeah. You see, let me give you an example. I like cars. I like watches. Not really crazy about clothes. Once in a while, I'm in the mood, once a year, twice a year, to dress up nicely. I don't think I'm in the mood to dress up nicely more than once in 2 months. It's not me. I sometimes like it, but I'd rather save all my money and buy a car, or save all my money and buy a watch.
Exactly. So that's what makes
you happy,
me happy, right? Now, is it wrong?
For instance, let me give you an example. I don't like football. I can't be bothered. I would rather sit down and watch petrol evaporate than watch a game of football. I'll rather walk on the edge of 3rd Milan Bridge for 90 minutes than sit down and watch an Arsenal Man U game. That's me. Do you understand? Now, I don't say this everywhere because people have a way of judging what makes me happy as wrong. Oh, you like cars and you don't like football. I've heard people tell me that you're not a man.
Exactly.
Because I don't like 22 people running around like headless dingbats chasing the ball.
It's the way they say you're not intelligent if you're not watching Game of
Thrones.
Nigerians are like that.
Do you understand? We tend to judge other people by what makes us happy. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I remember one of my neighbors then in Port Harcourt. He had a very nice house. Then all his cars were Kia. I was not wondering, how can you have this kind of house? At least get a Benz. Do you understand? Or get a Range. It's not like you can't have a Range. It's not like if you sold one of your brand new Kias, you won't be able to get at least 3-year, 4-year-old Benz. Do you understand? How can I have this kind of house and I won't have a German or a European car? And something in me was like, that's what he likes. So we've got to learn to understand that what makes us happy shouldn't judge the world. Oops, lost that call. We're going to go on a quick break and then come right back. When we come back, we'll be taking your phone calls as we discuss this. Let's talk about happiness. Let's talk about what makes us happy. In a moment, stick around. All right, it's been a wonderful time with you on After Dark with Daddy Freeze. Thank you so much to all the callers who shared their experiences. Thank you so much, my beautiful lobsters, Nene, Risky, and Amal, and of course, Zika. And of course, keep it a date with us on 96.9 Cool FM. After Dark runs every weekday from 7 p.m. till 9. Right here on your favorite radio station. Do have a wonderful week.